Happy New Year. I'm Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop. It is January 8th, 2025. I cannot believe we are already 8 days into January. That's so crazy. I'm excited because my kids go back to school today. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about my 2025 plans of cross stitching, and I'm going to approach this year a little bit different. You know, I always set goals at the beginning of every year, and this year what I'm going to do is do more new product. So I'm going to, instead of planning my entire year now, I'm going to plan what I know, and then as new items come in, I will have time to just pop them into my sewing rotation so that it won't be as, it'll be a little bit more organic, and it'll give me some space to just be able to stitch new things. Because one thing I've noticed in the last couple of years is I have so much stuff planned, and then something really cute from like Heart and Hand will come in, and I can't stitch it because there's no space. So it's going to be a little bit different than last year, but I think it's still going to be exciting. I'm still going to stitch a ton of stuff. At the end, we are going to be doing a big giveaway, and I got some items that were framed. We'll get to see that, and we'll get to see some new stuff. So super excited. And of course, ask any questions, and you can let me know in the comments what you guys are going to be stitching for this year, because it's always fun to see what everybody else is stitching. So first I'm going to start with kind of like the series that I had already started in 2024, because I'm going to obviously finish them. So this is Word Swap. This started in March of 2024, and it goes all the way. This is the last one for the club. Now she is going to have some extras, or they are going to have some extras.
This is just a show.
I'll show you the two extras from last year. I did the quilter and the cross stitchers. These were extra, and they did come in the club. This is the last one that we know of for now. Now, if she adds extras, we will send them in the club. So I have 10 completed, including these two. I left two Halloween ones out, and I haven't stitched the snowman one. So this is the 10. This will make 11. And I have really enjoyed these. So I do hope I hope they add some more. The snowman one's really cute. It's on, it was on their FlossTube this weekend. Now, all of these I stitched on a fabric flare that is called Whitewash Board, and I centered it in between these two. Now, when I did that, I had a lot of leftover pieces, so one of my goals is to use all the leftover pieces, that's like the bottom of the piece, throughout the year. So this one is almost finished. Now this one you could stitch on any kind of piece. Priscilla and Chelsea, they just stitched theirs on a white Monaco. So you could stitch this on really anything. This one is kitted up. So if we get snowed in tomorrow, my goal is to stitch this tomorrow. There is one more word swap coming up after this, is what Denise said. So there's going to be this one, and then one more, and then I do think there's going to be some bonuses. So that's kind of the first thing that's on my list. And I'm not doing the snowman. I think it's super cute, but I just go straight, I don't really decorate. I go straight into decorating for Valentine's Day because of time. So if I do a snowman, that's cute and everything, but then I would never really use it to decorate with. So that's why. The fabric flare to me is stiff, not soft, but that's a personal opinion. The next series that I started in 2024 was Blooming Roots. Now this is a big series where there's a house, decor around it, and a sign. And that's a ton of stitching. And like I said, I want to open up room for me to be able to stitch other things. This is a piece by, let's see, oh, Paisleys and Polka Dots, this one is. So I decided I wanted to do something a little bit more simple. So the very first one, is it this one? Okay, so the very first one is here. I don't think we have the names in there. This is the second one I stitched. This is the third one, and we do have a video on how to finish these. These are, the video is called Simplest Way to Frame a Cross Stitch in a Picture Frame. It's a straightforward how to frame tutorial. We do sell these. These are called white shabby chic 4.5-inch frames. We had them made, and they just coincidentally fit into this. They weren't actually made for this, but they fit nicely. And some of the houses I had to adjust, you know, to make like 1 or 2 stitches smaller, but it wasn't hard to do at all, and I didn't use any type of graphic programming or anything like that to do it. And so I'm hoping to do all of these. This is December's release.
January's.
This is January's release. Wild Rose Lane. Where's that?
You have it kitted.
Oh, I have it kitted at home. So I have Wild Rose Lane in a kit at home, and then this is January's release. And so I'm a little bit behind. These don't take long at all. I can get these done in one day. But I like that they're simple, and my idea for this, because one thing that I've learned over the years of cross stitching is I need to figure out where I'm going to display these. And I only have limited space, just like everybody else. So I thought these would be really cute in a horizontal line where it's just like kind of like houses, and then we could put some little trees around it. So it looks like a little village instead of interchanging it for each month. So super excited. And this one is the Pale Gray Gingham on Fabric Flare. Now I am partial to Fabric Flare because it's, this is kind of the stiffness of it. I prefer stiff. Monaco was a little too stiff for me. This is the perfect one. Witchell I also really like, but anything really soft, I feel like my stitches are not very pretty. So that's why it's all personal preference. So that is the Blooming Roots series. So I have 4 done, 2 scheduled. I'm gonna do all of them unless there's one that has like a skull on it. You know, I mean, if there's one that's Halloween, I'll probably still do it, you know, as long as it's not too crazy. I am excited to see. I think I did stitch that one already. You know what? I did stitch it. I never brought it. I have stitched that last one. I think I have it at home. So then we're going to move into the 2025 that are series. Now this one, I don't know if I've shown it to you before. This is called Seed Packets. It's designed by It's So Emma, and so you can sign up for the Pattern Club. It comes with the floss, not the fabric. We stitched all of our samples on the Natural Rustico by Witchell, and it has the little linen nubs, so it has kind of that look. And the Daisies pattern shipped to club members this week. So if you're in this club, you will get your pattern and your floss this week. And the finishing kit for the first month, I believe, went online yesterday. And on the finishing, it's this fabric right here and this rickrack, both by Lady Dot Creates. And she can only make so many, if that makes sense, because she hand dyes everything. So we'll just have them in batches as she's able to give them to us. And then this is a 7 by 9 inch walnut wooden shelf sitter. And so we had this made, we're selling this. And so we had it made 2 ways so that you could use it for this. But at the same time, if you wanted to do something for like Christmas, a different season, you could put something on this side. So thank you to everybody who joined that club. I'm going to be making these. There's 12 of them, and you can see Denise put this together. So if you buy the Seed Packet fabric and the Rustico, it tells you how to cut it so you can get the most with no waste. What I'm thinking of doing is to do 3 of these horizontally and then finish it on one big piece so that it looks different and I can show you something different. So I'm going to pick 3 of my favorite flowers and stitch them as one piece. And as the patterns release, I will let you know. I don't think Daisy's is on my list of one to pick. I think I picked pinks, knowing me. And this is your finishing kit right here. So it has the, what is that fabric called? Ozenberg. It's textured, and we have a video that shows you how to do this So just look on our channel, and it's a video where I show how you cut this with the Alpha scallop blade, and then how we just glued this down. And you can get this wood piece, the 7x9" at Fat Quarter Shop. So that's the third one that I have planned for 2025. And like I said, I'm not going to do all 12 so that I have a little bit of room. The next series I started last year. This is the monthly mini village by Country Cottage Needleworks. This series came out, I think she announced it in October. Now we are sold out of all of our club spots, but you can order each of the month's patterns individually, and on that you can just click to add your floss. Some of the Classic Colorworks floss is sold out. We have a lot on order, but a lot was sold out at the end of the year. Now this one, I'm going to be using Beautiful Beige 14 count Aida, and I bought 4 of the packages, and that was plenty to cut 3. I think if I would have planned Denise style, meaning organized, I would have been able to buy less packets, but Denise was not in the office that day, and I was like, you know what, I just want to stitch and I don't want to think, so I just kind of cut. I do think I could have got more if I would have thought about it more. So this is January's. There's going to be obviously 12. I'm going to do all of them. They're all about 3x9 on 14 count. So I have the January release done. The one thing that I didn't do is I didn't put eyes on the snowman. Every time I look at something that I've done and I see previous French knots, they just look bad. So I just decided to not stress myself out and not do any of them. And then next month I'll stitch February, and you'll get to see February. I don't think I'm not planning to make any changes to any of the patterns at all, colors or anything. These were, this takes about 8 hours to do this side, 4 hours to do the center, and then about 8 hours to do this side. I actually did this one when Kevin's parents were in town, and so it does take quite a bit of time, but I kind of divide it up into sections. And obviously this is my favorite part because it has the font. So again, this is Beautiful Beige fabric, and the pattern is Monthly Village by Country Cottage Needleworks. And then continuing, this is the 3rd year we have done the Stitching with the Housewives Quarterly Cross Stitch Club. This year it's called Sweet Seasons, and Priscilla and Chelsea are stitching theirs on tea-dyed Monaco, which we have in stock. I stitched mine on Pale Gray Gingham by Fabric Flair. I tried the Monaco last year, and I stitched like an entire series on Monaco, but it really, I have a callus right here, and I just felt like every time my callus would just pull on the fabric. So in this one, we changed it a little bit from last year. Each quarter you get a package that has the pattern by Stitching with the Housewives, 6 Classic Colorworks floss, a quilting fabric that you put behind it. We don't include the fabric this year. We're doing an enamel needle minder, which is a change from last year. And we're doing a zipper bag that has their not logo, but their name on the front, which is a big difference from last year. So this is the first one that goes out February. I have seen May. They finish about 5x7, and I've stitched the first one. I can tease it, and then if you watch the Stitching with the Housewives FlossTube on Saturday, they're also going to tease it then, so you can see how that looks. And obviously it's going to be some type of, I'm assuming, dessert. Do you think that's right? Dessert?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like dessert-ish. So those are ones I've started. Now I'm going to show you ones that I have not started at all, but they're on my list. So the first one is Little Loves by Fat Quarter Shop, and we just put this online this week. It's super cute. Now this is that same frame I showed you earlier, the white shabby chic 4.5-inch square frame. So the pattern is completely free at Fat Quarter Shop only. If you want to buy the supplies for it, it's called the Little Loves Cross Stitch Bundle, and it includes the bag, the pattern printed out, so you don't have to print it at home. It only uses 3 floss, red, dark pink, and light pink. So you could just pull, you know, leftovers from your stash. You don't have to buy that if you don't want to, or it's right here. A super cute enamel charm, and what you do with this is you put it on your bag right here. And it actually is super helpful because then you can find the actual zipper. And this comes with the floss bitties that you can put your floss on. Now this one I'm going to make this weekend. So this is on my table to make this weekend. Christopher has a basketball tournament at 8, 12, and 3 on Saturday. And I haven't had one of those in quite a long time where you're just sitting somewhere for 12 hours in and out of the car, and it'll probably be freezing. But I'm going to be doing that this weekend. So super excited about that. Now, we might sell out of these bundles, but if we do, we should have more next Wednesday. This one is definitely beginner friendly, and this one is kind of, every year we do a free series. So for this one, this is the free series. Now I'm going to stitch mine on pale gray gingham, and it's up to you on what you want to stitch yours on. You cannot really see the gingham. Well, you can kind of see it right there. I just prefer that so much. I just love that fabric. So this is actually my kit. I'm going to make it this weekend. We'll talk more about it in 2 weeks. Our next live stream is going to be focused all on Halloween, Valentine's Day. Sorry. In 2 weeks, our live stream is going to be all about Valentine's Day, and we're going to show like past Valentine's stuff and then stuff I'm going to stitch for Be Mine. Super, super cute. So I'll be stitching it early, but it is scheduled for part of the Be Mine stitch along in February, but if I have time ahead of time, I do try to get a little bit ahead. And it's really cute. This is my favorite freebie we have done for Valentine's Day. The next one is Quilted Snowman. And this one I have not started yet. So I usually keep one of these 7-inch or 10-inch design boards in my bags because when I'm somewhere, I can set this on the bench next to me. Or anyway, these are my leftover flosses. This is designed by Lori Holt. So you can buy this as a paper pattern or a PDF pattern. And this is the DMC thread pack that is put onto the mitten floss drops, the cozy mitten floss drops. These are just extra SKUs, extra skeins that we didn't put on here yet. Now I'm stitching mine on 14 count vintage country mocha, and I'm gonna stitch on the non-modeled side, meaning I might need to put a note in this bag so I don't do it wrong, so that it is on this side, not this side, because it looks very different. But I'm stitching on 14 count. The sample was stitched on the Heritage 25 count by Lori Holt. So they're very similar, but I just decided I'm going to do everything on 14 count if I can. So you can pick between Heritage 25 count or 14 count, or you could work with vintage country mocha or something in your stash. The big thing on this one is you want your white to show up. So as long as you take your there's 2 whites. There's this one, and let me find the other one. The equal sign. $38.66 and these 2. So as long as these 2 show up on your fabric, you should be fine, because all of these are, they're dark enough to show up on most fabric. This one, I'm not going to start until July. So we do a Jolly July. So I might cheat, and get something done ahead of time, like a tree or something. Like because all of these, I have a bucket at home. It's kind of like I got it at Home Goods, but it's just a bucket and it has all of my cross stitch in it. And so if I have a bag ahead of time that's kitted like this one, I'm going to take it home. If I have time and I'm bored, I'll just pick it up and stitch something. Or sometimes if I just run out of if I'm just running out of the house trying to find something, I'll just pick any bag. This bag right here is, actually don't know the name of it. It is one of Lori Holt's bags. I'll have to look up the name, or Ashley will have to look up the name of it. I don't know the name off the top of my head. Do you know the name of this bag?
Right here.
Okay, Jordan found it. It's called Hometown Holiday Vinyl Zipper Project Bag. It is coming back in stock in a week or two. And one thing about, I try to put each of them in a different bag so that when I look at my bucket of stuff, I'll know what I'm pulling. That's like the goal, but realistically, with me stitching so many things, I usually just don't have a clue what I'm grabbing. So that's kind of one of those things. Now, the frame for Little Loves is our 4.5 inch white shabby chic frame at Fact Photoshop. The fabric for this one?
We haven't decided.
Oh, we haven't decided. Okay. So this one is going, we're not going to start this until April. So, okay, because we're going to do April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So this one I scheduled for April. This is called Log Cabin Christmas, and I believe this series came out in 2024. So do you want to zoom out a little bit? It is one where you can stitch them individually, or you can stitch them 3x3, and that's what I'm going to do. And the layout for the 3x3 is on the Little House Needleworks website. Now this one, we're going to have more information in March, because what Denise and Cheryl and I are doing is we're recoloring some of the colors. Years ago, probably 2 years ago, I made a cross stitch called Farmhouse Christmas, also by Little House Needleworks. So I'm going to pull those threads, make a conversion, sell you a thread pack with that conversion. And we have not picked the fabric. That's why there is no fabric. I thought we had picked it. It'll probably be something very similar to Vintage Country Bokeh. It will definitely be 14 count. When I do know when we talked about this, when I made my Farmhouse Christmas, I stitched that on 16 count. Didn't enjoy it. So I'm going to make this one on 14 count, and it will, of course, end up being a lot bigger, but I think that's okay because it'll just be in a bigger frame. So every year, one thing we talk about is kind of the year as an overview. So let's kind of talk about that. For February, we will be doing the Be Mine Stitch Along that is where we pick Valentine's Day projects to stitch throughout February. So obviously the first one I showed you. The others I haven't planned yet. In June, we're going to be stitching Red, White, and June. So I'm hoping that at Needlework Market, there's a bunch of new patriotic that I can slot in there. In July, we're going to stitch Jolly July, which what I have planned for Jolly July right now is the Quilted Snowman. September, Denise and Cheryl are going to do Spooky September, where they sew a lot of Halloween. October, we will do Stitchtober, which Lori has not planned that design yet. And then December, we will do Jolly Housewives like we did last month, where there's always an exclusive pattern that is one big piece. So that's kind of how we have the year planned. Now I do have one item from last year that I didn't finish that we need to talk about. Okay, this one I didn't finish. And I don't know if I'm going to finish it because, so this is called Houses on Pumpkin Lane. And I started it last December, so it's been about a year. Oh, look at my needle. I have needles all over So realistically, I don't have this planned to finish because it's kind of just been a challenge. This is 18 count vintage country mocha. It's one strand. It's kind of one of those things. Look at all these needles I have. Let me tell you, I don't want to ever not have a needle, I guess. I can't do this one. I have to do this one at home under a magnifying light. It's so cute, but I just realistically don't know if I'm going to finish it. So I do have a stack. It's a drawer, and it has Glitter Village. It has this one, and then it has one other one. I have thought about taking those projects and like giving them as giveaways to one of you guys to finish, because I would love for this to be finished. I don't have the time to do it, but I only want to do it if y'all would really finish it. So that's kind of, and I need room in my drawer. So that's kind of my thought on this one. I didn't want y'all to think I forgot about it. So that's all I have planned for this year. But if you think about it and you think about the series and the numbers, I always finish about 60 to 80 things. Well, I finish about 80 things a year. The last 2 years I have done at least 80 pieces. So these came back from the framer, and our last live stream, we showed you all of our finished pieces that I did in 2024. But these came back from the framer, so thank you to Jordan who went to pick them up yesterday. And this is what they look like back from the framer. This one's Hometown Holiday Sampler. I stitched this one on natural Witchell fabric, 14 count, called for DMC. The designer is Lori Holt. And my frame is a little bit, well, it's much lighter than what she picked. I think it looks good. I think it's showing in person. It's a lot darker than on the camera. So that's one thing. It looks kind of misleading because it looks white, but in person it's really brown. So I always do museum glass, and super excited how that looks. This one mine? Mm-hmm. They didn't put glass in it.
Is it not with glass?
Okay, we might have to take this one back, Jordan. Okay, so this one is the Quilted Scarecrow, and they didn't put glass in it. So they'll have to fix it. This one is 14 count oatmeal on the modeled side. And like I said, the Quilted Snowman is going to be on the non-modeled side. 14 count and called for DMC, designed by Lori Holt. We'll have to see, because if I paid for glass, I definitely want them to fix it. If not, I could maybe live with it. I mean, my kids are getting big, and their sticky fingers are not as sticky as they used to be. So this one is the Quilted Scarecrow. This one was what we stitched as part of Stitchtober. I was like, something over, Stitchtober. Another one that I stitched last year was Gather. This one, I don't even remember when I stitched it. This is Gather Together. And this is by Hands On Design. It's an older design that I think I just had it already kitted up, and I just thought, let me just stitch it. I did change the floss. The fabric I stitched on is 14 count natural Witchell. I used bamboo, marmalade, pumpkin harvest, sticks and twigs, bean sprout, and tropical paradise. And I did pull all of those from my stash, and I just wanted like a little small frame. I did look at Home Goods because I thought maybe a 5x7 it might fit, and it didn't fit like good enough, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to answer questions before I show you new releases. Sharon asks, can we show more of Sweet Season so we can decide if we want to order? I can't show you anymore, but I bet Priscilla will show you more on Saturday on her channel. It seems like you stitch really fast. Yes, I do. What length of floss do I start with? Okay. So Brenda, what I do is if it's Classic Colorworks, I just fold it in half. I do the loop method, and that comes out to about 18 inches. If I'm starting with DMC, I take my skein, I cut it into 8 pieces. That comes out to a little bit more than a yard, a little bit more than 36. I think it comes out to like 38 inches. I do the loop method. I start in half. And I prefer to do the loop method because it's just a quicker start and I have less knots as I go. A lot of people, most people stitch with the full yard and they keep the 2 strands together. And that's probably even faster, but I just prefer the loop method. Will the Housewives have another monthly series? Oh, I'm sure. They're always doing something. I don't think they've given us a hint. I haven't asked them, so I don't know. Well, I think we've probably asked them, but I don't remember. Have I ever stitched with color and cotton? Yes, I have. How do I stop my fabric from fraying? I remember using masking tape and hoping something better has been designed. So, really, it's just masking tape or using a serger or a sewing machine to do like a zigzag stitch. But you know, in the last year, Denise hasn't even done that on any of my pieces and they have not frayed at all. So I think because I use 14 count and a stiff fabric, I don't really need to do that. But if you were using like a soft fabric, like a hand-dyed fabric, you probably would need to do that. Chris U says, I love that. The top middle window on the left is missing the middle bar unless you left it off. Oh, Lord. Oh, it is. Will you just have Cheryl fix it? Oh my gosh. Thank you. You know, so I'm missing 6 stitches. How did you see that? Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Good thing it's not framed. Cheryl asks, can you show how to slide off 1 strand of your floss on floss drops? No, because I don't do that. So I can tell you Nicole does that from, can you think of her channel name? Nicole from Nicole Spohr, S-P-O-H-R. She has a channel and she has shown how to do it and it's been quite a while and I tried it. Okay, Kimberly Jolly has 0 patience, 0. To do that, you have to be like calm, collective, cool. You gotta like, I'm moving fast. I did try it. I don't think Cheryl does that, but I think she probably knows how. I don't know how to do that, so I can't show you how. I would love to show you how if I knew how, but I don't. So now I'm going to show you recent releases. There hasn't been a lot new just because it's the end of the year, and the next couple of months it won't be a ton of new stuff. It'll mostly be Valentine's, because people will be holding their new releases for Needlework Market, which is March 6th. So these are things that came out since I saw you last. This is the Wooden Needlework display box, and this one it's a Fat Quarter Shop exclusive. And what you get is you get the box, and then it's empty here. Mm-hmm. In the box, it comes folded like this. Is this pattern. The pattern right now is only available if you buy the box. Now I'm going to stitch this and it'll be stitched at some point during 2025, probably later in the year, because what I want to do is I have to stitch it different. So I've got to find a different fabric and a different floss, because if you've seen it stitched this way, you know, it's kind of the same thing. So this is 14 count Moonstone. You want it to be a little bit different. This is 28 count Lugana by Fiber on a Whim. This just pops out and pops in. There is a video tutorial that Denise filmed called Turn Your Cross Stitch. You filmed it. Oh, I filmed it. Oh, thank you. Well, Denise, I mean, come on. You were standing right there telling me what to do. So this is called Turn Your Cross Stitch into a Keepsake, Elegant Way to Finish with a Wood Needlework Display Box. Now, we made these boxes and we only were able to make like a couple hundred. I know that we've sold 60% as of like a week or 2 ago. When they sell out, we will make more, but it will take a while. So we'll schedule this probably like in June or something, and I'll stitch something, but the thing is when we do this, we pick the colors I like. So these are my colors. But you've already seen it stitched twice. So what would I be adding if I added it again? So I'm going to have to come up with something else, like, bless you, like a different colorway or something. I'll figure it out. I'm kind of thinking if I did navy letters, that would be really cute. Like maybe navy letters and then pink thread or something, like all pink thread, all navy, just something. And I'll have to pick a different fabric. So now there will be other patterns released for the Needlework display box, but probably one a year. It probably won't be like right away. And I think it'll also depend on if they keep selling. Now we will eventually release this pattern to everyone as a paid pattern, but like 6 months, a year, it's going to be quite a while. And just so you know, on the other side, it is color. So easy to read. And thank you to everybody who bought one of these. I think they're really cute. The next thing is the Denim Bees book stand is now available. And we started with, what was the first color? I know we had yellow.
It was like a
aqua. So we've done aqua, pink, yellow. This is navy. So this is by Lori Holt, and this originally was designed for her quilt books because it has like a 1.5 inch deep where the book can sit. So you could put this next to you and put your cross stitch pattern on it, and you can use your needle minder because it's magnetized, and then you could, you know, follow your pattern if your table next to your sitting area is big enough for this. I am quite clumsy, and I can tell you that next to my table I have knocked off iced teas that are full 3 times last year. I have to get my carpet cleaned. Like, it is so bad. I was so embarrassed. I didn't even let my sister-in-law come in my bedroom because I was like, I don't want her to see the tea in my carpet that I spilled. So I just don't think I could be trusted with this next to me, but I use this in quilting. So there's that. Along with this, Lori released some sticker sets, and they're just super cute. So I'm going to use them when I do my quilting, and I keep track of all my projects that I've done. What I'm going to do is when I'm done, I'll put a sticker on that page, and then I know my sticker, like, I'm done. You could use this to decorate Yeti bottles or bottles like this. You wouldn't need to decorate this one though. This is our pink limited edition 40-ounce quilt mug that is coming out in March, April. But these are just fun, and they're super cute. And you can decorate your notebooks, planners, binders. There's 6 colors. You get 1 sheet of each color. We've been working on these a long time. So both of these are for Lori. And then for January of 2025, these are the first 2 from Stitching with the Housewives that are PDFs. So Fridays will be stripper series. This one's called, Sideways Stripper Series. So I guess it's going to be horizontal. So Family Makes This House a Home, and then this was this morning, Stealing Hearts, and that's Priscilla and Petunia. Those are her dogs. So cute. Guilty of Stealing Hearts. What'd I say?
Priscilla.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Presley and Petunia?
Is it Peony?
Peony, Petunia. I don't know. But Piggy is doing great. Someone asked how Piggy was doing. He's doing really good. He's gotten, I don't know, he's getting old, but he's, the good thing is he's like chilling out on eating because he was, you know, pugs can get really fat if you let them. So he's actually like, his appetite has been less, which is good because then he doesn't beg for food at all hours of the day. The quilt mug will come in different colors. So the first one is aqua, which we do still have in stock. When that's gone, it will go away. Then we're doing pink, and then we haven't planned the next one. The stickers are, let me measure them. Where's my gray thing? Oh. Y'all always ask something that I'm not prepared for. 1 1/4 by 1 1/8. So, Lori's Hometown Neighborhood Cross Stitch Series is the next one, shipping soon, and What House is next?
We're waiting on it, not the framer.
We're waiting on that to come back from the framer so that we can have the final photo on the front of the pattern. And I don't know the next one yet. Am I still using my cross stitch journal? I haven't been using a journal because I feel like I've just been doing so much that I can't keep up. Oh, this is a good comment. Barbara says, fray check works great. Your linen will not fray. I've been using it for many years. That's a great idea. And we sell fray check. You can also get that at like Joann's. It's kind of like a liquid. It's like a little bottle, and you would just dot it on the side and let it dry. Now, for all of you who, speaking of planner, like to keep a calendar of your projects and your stitch alongs, we've been doing these for a long time, for years. This is our free 2025 Fat Quarter Shop free downloadable. So you could download this and keep track of your projects. I'm sure you could maybe turn it into an editable, like where you draw on it or something. I wouldn't know how to do that. And thank you to Brittany for doing this for us. Super cute. We have 2 cross stitch patterns from Big Tree. This is Christmas Piazza cross stitch. So this is the pattern right here, and then there's also instructions on how to turn it into a bag. And then this is Ribbons and Stars cross stitch. I would be interested to know if this fit in our 4.5 inch. If you use 16 count, I think it would fit in the 4.5 inch shabby chic frame. And this one is designed by Susan Vaughn, and this one is designed by Susan and Joanna. And hopefully she'll have more cross stitch patterns coming out. Little House Needleworks has a few new patterns. This is Bits and Pieces of Winter, Snowy Quaker, and then this is an older pattern re-released. It's called Sea to Shining Sea. And I think this one, when she originally released it years ago, was you would buy it in sections and it came with the thread. Now I think it's just a pattern. Tidings of Comfort and Joy by Country Cottage Needleworks is new. Super cute angels. And then the Jingle Mini Bag by Shepherd's Bush is new, and we're waiting on the buttons to arrive from Just Another Button Company. Winter Forest by Primrose Cottage is new. And then the only new fabric we've gotten is the Salt Brush colorway by Fox and Rabbit. The 16 count has sold out, I believe, and the 14 count, we do have some left. Okay, Camara asks, what is a good light color neutral Aida to use when you stitch with white floss? I think Vintage Country Mocha, and I also think Lamb's Wool is too light. I think Vintage Country Mocha or a gray. Can you think of any others? Vintage Country Mocha. Yeah. Okay, so our giveaway today is we're going to give away 4 of these display boxes. So you'll get the display box with the pattern inside for free. What I want you to do is comment, and I want you to let me know, what are your plans for 2025 and how do they compare to 2024 or previous years? Because that's kind of what I went over is that. So just kind of tell me what your plans are for 2025. You have until Tuesday, January 14th. And then we will pick winners on January 15th, and we always announce that in our community tab. And if you haven't subscribed, we would love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I will be back in 2 weeks to show you lots and lots and lots of Valentine's Day inspiration. So I hope to see you then. Bye.